Hi, guys.
Oh, now what is so sad?
I'm not sad at all.
Okay.
I'm just tired.
Okay.
I can't go on.
No, you go get some food, okay? That'll perk you right back on up.
Great. So food's the answer to our problems.
Today it is.
Okay, all right.
Today it definitely is.
Holy crap, I'm so tired, guys. I don't think it makes it into the podcast, but I just want you guys to know how tired I am. And I want you to carry the burden of knowing it.
We don't want to bug you with it, like tell you too much about it, but he wants a response back.
Somebody please pity me. Pity me!
Pay attention to me!
Hey, today in the podcast, a special word about movie marketing. It's one to grow on. It's probably a little too much of a rant. Let's see. Also, watching TV is killing you. We talk about Lost in Space, Billy Graham, Szechuan, which is harder to spell than you think it is.
Well, it's more details on the Szechuan dipping sauce from McDonald's, the old Rick and Morty thing.
And we talk Domino's and the Duffer Brothers.
Yeah.
I'd go to Duffer Brothers Pizza.
That totally sounds like a pizza place.
I know. Instead, it's the guys that made Stranger Things on Netflix. But still, if they open a pizza place,
they can follow it up with that.
I'd totally go there. So, you guys enjoy the podcast. Thanks for always giving us a shot.
Go to sleep.
No, don't even.
Don't do that. Nighty-night, our work is done. Go to sleep.
Stop.
It's podcast
we have to go.
time.
We have a bunch of crap
Nighty-night.
we gotta go do. You don't even want to know.
Hey. Just go to sleep. Close your eyes, everybody.
Bye, y'all. It's the Riot.
Sometimes a bad example is the best example. It's the worst of the Riot on RadioU.
Now, the first question everyone's going to have immediately following what I have to say is, well, which movie are you talking about?
You don't want it to be about that? It's not specific?
It's actually not about the movie. The movie is not what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is the press surrounding a movie. In a lot of ways, you and I know that they are desperate to get you to go to the movies because they're selling a product. And in fairness, everybody that's selling a product is going to use almost everything in their arsenal to sell you that product to get you go to that movie or to buy that cereal or, whatever it is. And different things resonate differently with different people and et cetera, et cetera. There's just a lot there, right? Well, yesterday I saw three articles from three different sources written by three different authors. And they all talked about a movie that's coming out in March. And
the same movie, and they all used the same word. And the word was important. Yeah.
They talked about how important this movie is. This movie is a popcorn movie. This movie, it is fluff. And they all were talking about how important it was. Now, if one of them had said it, I would have been like, no, it's no big deal, whatever. But when I'm sitting down and in the space of 20 minutes, three different news sources, and I mean movie news sources, but still, three of them tell me that movie is important on the same day using the same word in the same news cycle, like same, and they're all saying the same thing, I go,
know where that's coming from.
This is marketing.
Yeah.
Now, the people that wrote the articles might not even think of it as marketing, but I can all but guarantee you this. They all received a press packet, a press release, a press whatever, and inside that, they were told that it was important. They believed what they were told in the press release, and then it came out in their article.
A lot of times you get talk points of what they encourage you and would like you to get everybody on board, like the same lingo, because you might not notice it. You might not be looking at so many sources. You might not catch on, but they want it to resonate with you.
They do.
And there's certain words that'll do that. So the person probably just wrote the article based on a lot of the talk points.
Here's the part about it. Well, the two things that concern me. One is keep in mind that so often what you think of as news is marketing. And you're like, no, listen, news is used as marketing because let's face it, it's not even, if you're looking at movie news, it's not even really news in a lot of ways. It's a quasi news environment where marketing really seeps through. So I think it's fair. All of us living in the modern world need to start looking at the messages that are around us all the time and going, okay, now wait a minute. Is that for real, or are you just trying to get me to buy something? That's one. And two, I just want to say this because I think this is important, is that when somebody looks at you and tells you that going to a movie is important, they are trying to get you to see you're buying a movie ticket as activism. buying a movie ticket is not activism. Going to see this popcorn movie in March is not activism. They want to take your heart to change the world, to make a difference and do all that stuff. And they know they couldn't get you with a commercial, but they might be able to get you to go see their movie if you start to see their movie as important. I'll give my money to this because it's an important cause. They're not curing cancer over there, guys. They're not. They're making a movie. They're making a product. They are marketing to you, and they are trying to get your money in exchange for that product. That is not wrong, but they are getting even smarter about how they market it to you. And so they're like, in March, you're going to have some choices. And
you want to make the important one.
You want to go see this movie, or do you want to see a movie that's important?
I knew that it would happen from the beginning and when you start talking about it, and I know you don't want to, but then,
I'm not going to say
I
it.
know in your mind, you're just like, I wonder which movie it is. I'm going to go look up March releases.
And you know what? I'm not telling you about it because I'm not giving it any more coverage, et cetera, et cetera. I'm done. But
you can tell me off air.
Film attendance is not activism, guys. Activism is activism. Change your world, not with a movie ticket.
The Riot sees gas station hot dogs as part of a balanced breakfast.
Is that bad?
Well, not good.
It's The Riot on RadioU.
Hey, how much TV did you watch last night, Nikki?
How much TV?
Yeah.
Oh, so like you're not saying like traditional over-the-air TV, are you? Or just
I'm
how much
talking
shows
about
did I watch?
How much shows? Okay.
I probably
and I'm going to count YouTube.
YouTube? Maybe an hour and a half. I'd say an hour and a half.
Okay. You might die.
Why? Was that too much?
Well,
or not enough?
No.
Is that what you're saying? I need to commit more?
I will tell you this right now. The people at the University of Minnesota are concerned about your habits. What they've been doing is taking a look at data that's been compiled over the last 24 years from 15,150 adults. And here's what they found. People that watch too much TV are 1.7 times higher at risk for fatal blood clots.
Oh, because you're sitting or laying down?
From deep vein thrombosis. Mm-hmm. Prolonged sitting can lead to blood clots. Why can't I say clots?
It's a hard one.
I want to say blood cots. Like, you're going to get a blood cot from all that laying down.
That's
on
not,
the cot.
though. It's a clot.
Mm-hmm. It's a clot because it impairs circulation.
So kind of like the thing you can possibly get if you do long-haul flights.
Mm-hmm. On the plane.
Yeah, because you're sitting down too much.
Prolonged sitting can, in some cases, lead to blood clots because normal circulation of blood through the legs and feet is impaired.
Well, it's fine. You know the details. You don't need to get it. We get what you're saying.
Impaired, not in pairs. So your legs come in pairs.
There's two words now.
Oh, my gosh. So they say that exercising probably doesn't help. Well, you can stop exercising then.
Then you can not be worried about that.
So what the heck are we supposed to do now?
And how long are we allowed to watch TV then?
You know that I don't even have a recommended amount here.
Well, then they can't just tell us not to for a certain amount of time. They got to say, okay, 30 minutes is all right, but if you go past that.
All right, here's what Dr. Kubota said. He said that you need to, and I'm going to read a direct quote, and let's see if I can read a whole sentence correctly. All right, let's see how he does. Okay, here we go.
Come on.
Avoiding frequent TV viewing, increasing physical activity, and controlling body weight might be beneficial to prevent VTE, which is the vein thrombosis. So he doesn't even know.
He's just saying it's helpful to prevent it. Or
he says might be.
Might be.
He didn't say will be. He said might be.
Well, from here, let's say you're spending an hour watching TV a day or something. Mm-hmm. So what I'm getting is make sure you get up often. Let's maybe stretch, grab a snack.
Sure.
Eat a meal, something like that, so it's not all like in a row.
I don't know, Nikki. Let me finish this quote. Second sentence, in a row. Can he read it? Even individuals who regularly engage in physical activity should not ignore the potential harms of prolonged sedentary behaviors such as TV viewing.
Well, he doesn't want to know what it's like then when we binge watch a show, because it's like, I'll see you in 2 days.
Doesn't sound good,
and
man.
I'm not moving at all during that time.
Well, maybe if we rolled over.
Is that enough? Oh. And if I'm laying down...
What if we had a chair that gave us like a butt, thigh, and calf massage, like every,
it's like
5 minutes it kicked on and it was like...
It could help.
You don't have to apologize unless you've done something wrong.
Well, I'm sorry. I can't even think straight right now.
This is the worst of the riot. We're very, very sorry.
Oh, that's so sweet. We were talking earlier about how sitting down and watching TV is killing you. And Tammy texted in and she's like, just do some ironing while watching TV so you're standing rather than sitting.
Now, Tammy, I don't know if you've listened long, but have we ever given you the impression we have any clothes that we iron?
Do you have anything that you iron?
Oh, no. I don't even know if I've ever ironed.
Never?
I don't think so. Maybe
Okay.
when I graduated and I ironed the gown.
I mean, like,
I think that'd be about it.
your mom did that. You didn't do that.
You're right, probably.
When you graduated from
I
high school,
remember.
you did not iron that. Your mom did.
I'm just thinking that'd probably be like the only thing. Or if you had like a dress or something.
I have an iron and an ironing board, and I will tell you that if you ever hire me to come and DJ your wedding, I will make sure that my shirt and pants are ironed for that event.
But for the rest of the year,
That is literally
the only
thing that I can think of that I have ironed clothing for.
So, Tammy, I don't think, at least for us, that is going to be
It's
like
not-
we
it's
won't
not
even
the
have
answer.
any shows we can watch because there's nothing to iron.
It's not the answer. That's not the one.
We don't iron T-shirts and jeans.
Yeah, no. I mean, even sometimes I'll pick up a T-shirt and I'll be like, this is pretty wrinkly. And then I'll think, you know what?
It's fine. It'll
By the end of the
it'll come out.
show, by the end of the show, it'll be fine.
Plus, if you put a hoodie or a jacket over it,
Don't
no
even
one will
see
even
it.
notice it.
You don't even see that. So, like, you don't have anything to
Oh,
worry
Tammy,
about.
she said she didn't really think that one through. It's okay. It's all right.
We're not mad at you.
I mean, it's just our job doesn't really lend itself to a dress code or anything, so we just don't need to.
doesn't really lend itself to, caring. And so,
No, you're confusing it because someone might think, oh, they don't care about themselves because we don't iron clothes or wear clothes that we have to
I
iron.
care enough about myself.
We just don't have that pressure here of how do we look.
yeah,
It's more important for how do we sound today.
well, and there is a certain, okay. You don't want Nikki and I to start, getting into this big morning self-care routine. All right, I've already gotten to a place where I'm making myself breakfast and I'm exercising in the morning.
No,
But
the
if
time.
But if I start coming in with pressed pants, I don't think we're going to like what that does to the show.
Sure.
I'm not saying you guys like the show now, but I can tell you right now, you're not going to like where it goes after that.
I agree.
It's
We
no
can't
good.
add anything else. It's going to topple over.
No.
No, but please, at least, Tammy, thank you for texting.
And thanks for caring.
Yeah.
And if anybody else wants to text, you know what to do. Grab your phone, 877-2-RADIO-U.
Feel free to call or text us anytime you would like to.
Yeah, I mean, you can call. I realize a lot of people don't know that their phones do that anymore, but you can do that.
Want to know what the Riot is doing right now? Follow them on Instagram and Twitter at riot.radiou.com. It's the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
Your question of the morning, what is the name of the family in Lost in Space?
So Lost in Space was an old show, and then not as old, but still an old movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then yesterday, the trailer came because Netflix decided to make it into a new TV show.
They did.
So that's why we're talking about it. Zach was the first person with your correct answer.
All right, Zach, what do you got?
It's the Robinson family.
You are correct, sir.
Very good. You have a great day.
Thank you. You as well.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, so there you've got it.
Because I always think Swiss Family Robinson.
I think that might
Be why?
kind of where they got it from, but I mean, or maybe
Similar
they just picked
story,
a random.
just in space.
Yeah, so they've got that coming. I was doing a little digging here. They actually had, so there's the 60s TV show, the 90s movie, and in the mid-2000s, like around 2004, they were doing another Robinsons TV show, but it was called The Robinsons Lost in Space, and it was directed by John Woo, who was...
Hey, John Woo, this old guy who used to put doves in everything.
He was a popular Hong Kong director.
Yeah.
He also directed Mission Impossible 2, Hard Target, and...
Face Off.
Face Off! That's right.
It's this old movie. Oh,
Yeah.
my gosh.
So he did all that stuff,
Yeah.
and then he directed the pilot for the show that was not picked up. Now, Nikki, you talked about all the crap in my brain. Wait for this.
Open up. Here it comes.
John Woo directed Mission Impossible 2,
Yeah.
which was written by Ronald Moore and Brandon Braga. Ronald Moore went on to write and co-produce the Battlestar Galactica reboot that aired on the Sci-Fi Channel. He was friends with John Woo. When Lost in Space didn't get picked up in 2004, he, because of his friendship with Wu, managed to negotiate for and purchase the sets that they built for Lost in Space. And those sets became the Battlestar Pegasus.
Oh, my goodness. Look at that. What a wealth of knowledge over there.
Come on.
Is that from a podcast?
A Ronald Moore podcast, yeah. Though I did know that he got a story by credit on Mission Impossible 2. Apparently, what's his name? Tom Cruise didn't like the script, so they did a complete rewrite. But he still got a story credit because he wrote the original
one
script
that they jumped off of.
Yeah. Mission Impossible 2 also terrible.
Guys, that's a lot of knowledge that Obi has passed along to us. I hope we absorbed it in. Soak it in like a sponge.
Hey, I'll just
a sponge.
Hey, I'll say this. I can't believe how many people knew the answer to this question.
I was surprised, too.
I was not going to show you just how
Netflix is
much
excited
nerdy info I had.
Because they hope by you knowing the answer to our question morning, that translates to you and April being excited for the show to come out.
Hey, you know me. I'm rooting for it. I hope it's good. I haven't watched it, or I don't know very much about it, but I hope it's good.
You don't know that much about it? Are you sure?
I don't know much about this one.
Because in your head, it seems like there's a lot.
Just that behind-the-scenes production info, but like the actual show, I don't know.
Not much.
Yeah.
Imagine a world where the Riot never talks and it's glorious RadioU music for hours on end. Now, imagine the opposite of that. You're already there. It's the worst of the Riot on RadioU.
Nikki, sometimes it just takes a horse to make everything okay.
I don't think I've ever heard that statement before.
No? Nikki, if you were sick and in the hospital, would you want your horse to come and visit you?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, and I know sometimes I've seen people sneak in like a puppy or a little kitten to kind of make someone feel better at the hospital. Mm-hmm. But I did not know we could try to sneak a horse in.
Well, you know what? They didn't let the horse come in. But the people at Connerton Long-Term Acute Care Facility in Land O'Lakes, Florida, did enable the lady to go outside
and see
so
her
she
horse?
could spend some time with her horse.
Well, that's nice. I bet that makes her feel better.
They brought the horse over for, an afternoon.
Yeah.
Hang out a little bit. Horse around.
Never got a horse when I was younger, so never had that bond with one.
It's rough. It's hard for you to understand it because this is a woman whose parents loved her. And
mine did not
your
because I never got a horse.
They didn't love you enough to get you a pony?
They took me horseback riding, so I guess they were good people.
So,
but never to keep my own.
It sounds to me like they loved you enough to taunt you with the horse, but not enough to actually get you one.
I always usually lived in a subdivision where you were not allowed to keep a horse.
So not willing to make the decisions they needed to where you could have a horse?
We all have our tough stories. Apparently that's mine.
I hear one of neglect and one of denied affection. That's the story that I'm hearing right now.
I bet it would have been cute to have a horse.
Oh, think about how great your life could have been and how differently you would have turned out.
Responsibility earlier.
You would have walked in here with those really high leather boots and that hat that all the horse people wear.
Yeah, would have been just natural for me.
Look, who are you kidding? All right, Nikki wouldn't have walked in here at all. She would be down talking to the horses.
I would be there.
She would be on Radio Horse.
I'd have a different life.
Think about how great the Radio Horse Network would be doing if Nikki was there right now. You'd be on.
Right along with us.
You'd be on with your co-host Sven, and you guys would be talking about all the hard-hitting horse news, and plus, all the regulations that are changing, and
I'll measure things. I'll be
place.
Like, not a foot, but what do they always say? Like by hands. You measure like, the horse is 10 hands high or something.
Is that really how they measure horses?
I think so. I don't know why that's in my head.
Mm-hmm. You can make jokes about like the quarter horse Congress and be like, if we have two of those, is it a half horse Congress?
And then at lunch we'll be like, hey, whose horse are we riding? Or are we going to take the company horse to lunch?
Exactly that. You would be like, hey, you know what? We took your horse yesterday.
I want the RadioU horse.
Forget it. We're all taking our horses.
Yeah, we're driving separately.
We're all going together.
I think it's nice, though, if, if you had anybody who's ever been in the hospital or who had care for a while, and there's rules for a reason. We understand that. But I feel like if it helps the person, There's always rules. There's always rules. Did you get what I mean? Like, it helps the person if that is someone that they miss seeing and they're there.
No, it's not that. It's not that.
What?
I just felt like for a minute I was in preschool or something because you were like, okay, now there's rules for a reason.
Yeah, like I understand that totally. And we wouldn't have had these rules if we didn't have problems probably with people unannouncing their horses coming.
Okay, boys and girls, now we're going to have fun, okay? But there's a few rules that we need to remember, and we have rules for a reason.
Then we can bring the horse in. But I bet that really helped the person while they were sick.
So no horseplay, okay?
Just trying to explain it. That's it. I don't want to be a rule breaker. Okay? It's not my style, but I would think that bringing a pet or some animal to help.
Yeah, I think it's great. But remember, we have rules for a reason.
Felt like that had to be a qualifier right there.
I really appreciate it.
The Riot is an award-winning morning show.
It's literally a medal for sucking. Now that is a medal for trying.
Okay.
Radio U.
So yesterday, Billy Graham died, and it wasn't... I mean, what was it yesterday? 5, 6 o'clock in the afternoon. I was getting ready for the show today, and it was funny. I just saw multiple articles that are like, the hidden secrets about Billy Graham. What Billy Graham really believed. Here's something he said that I don't think you'll really agree with. It was like there were a lot of people that wanted to rush out there and make sure, like, hey, don't think too much of this guy. Look at this. And I think that's funny because, let's face it, we've all got people like that in our own life where you're like, you're trying to do the right thing, you're trying to whatever, and then somebody's like, oh, yeah? Remember what you did 3 years ago? Ha!
They're right there waiting to tell you about it.
You suck! You might even think that about yourself. You might even, on the inside, you're like, you know what? I'm turning this thing around. We're going to do this differently. I'm going to do better this time. And you got that little thing inside that's like...
Sometimes it's not.
I'll get back to you.
Sometimes it's not even a little thing inside. It could be all the inside.
Here's something I want you to know. I seriously, you could become world famous, and you're going to have people that are going to be like, you're the worst. Other people that'll say you're the best. I want you to know what God says about you. God just says that you're forgiven and that you're loved. God looks at you and says, oh, yeah, you know what? I remember that time you did the thing, forgiven. Oh, remember that, whatever, forgiven. He just loves you. So look, I don't care if it's people around you. I don't care if it's the editorial staff at a well-known publication. I don't care if it's just a little voice inside yourself. I want you to know that God forgives you, that God loves you just as you are right now, but he loves you enough to go through life with you to help you make some better choices, to begin to work on the inside, to spend time with you. I'm telling you right now, a relationship with God's an awesome thing because he's one of the only people you'll spend time with that isn't interested in berating you and constantly bringing up that thing from 5 years ago. Look, if you don't have a relationship with God, you should. Just say, Jesus, I want that. I want you to come into my life. I want you to fill me with your spirit. I want you to forgive me. I want you to heal me. And I want you to show me a different way to do things. Man, with God with you, here's the awesome thing. Like, God loves you. He's not going anywhere. And if you got stuff you want to talk to him about, maybe that thing from 5 years ago, or maybe something that's coming up today that you're really nervous about, you can talk to God and ask him for help right now.
Let's take all of the most mind-numbing things the Riot has ever said and play them again.
It's a stupid idea, but I love it.
It's the Riot on Radio U.
Yesterday, we heard from, who was that? Izzy telling us that they'd found a large box of Szechuan sauce
for McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
So supposedly that was supposed to be coming back since the whole Rick and Morty debacle from last year when they had like none, but they said, oh yeah, we have like 2 packets per store.
It was the precursor to an announcement by McDonald's. Yesterday, they announced that today they would announce.
Yeah.
Well, here's the announce. McDonald's has announced this morning that they are going to ship 20 million packets of Szechuan sauce to all restaurants in the United States.
Because during the Rick and Morty event, that was like 1 McDonald's per city, but not every city.
And so they each got like 10 packets.
It's very, very, very limited. And then when Izzy sent us the picture yesterday, because she works at McDonald's, we knew it was like, okay, we're not gonna They're not going to mess that up again. And that's a Szechuan dipping sauce for like your nuggets or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, we're not here to tell you nuggets. But
as I said that, I was like, you know what? Don't do that. Why am I doing that?
If you want your fries and the nuggets, get
Dude,
nuggets.
One time I got some nuggets and they put in with some sauce a honey thing, which must be what they have at breakfast time.
Yeah, no, I know people that dip their nuggets in honey.
Oh, that was good.
Is that good?
That was really good. I was like, this is basically pure sugar on this thing, but it was delicious.
I'm sorry, is that wrong?
Honey nuggets are really, really good.
Well, Szechuan nuggets are going to be at all McDonald's starting February 26th. Now, of course, it'll be a while supplies last kind of thing, but...
See how fast people go through them.
It sounds like if you really wanted to try the Szechuan sauce and you went out on Monday, February 26th, you would probably have a better than average chance of snagging some, which is obviously a lot better than the last time they did this.
May we tell you a trick, okay?
No,
I want to tell you a trick.
I don't want to hear it.
Okay, you sure? Because it can maybe help.
Okay,
it's about
fine,
how we
tell me.
handle things. So if you really, really want the Szechuan sauce and you care deeply about it and you hated the little thing that they did last year and you were like, McDonald's, please, don't care about it and then go to McDonald's. Because if you do care about it, you're going to go and they're going to look at you like you're stupid and they don't know what you're talking about and there's no Szechuan sauce here. Get out of the store.
Yep.
And then your feelings are going to get hurt and you're going to be sad again.
You mean
because
like
you cared about it.
all those times we went to Target looking for the Oreos or
and
the
they're
whatevers.
like, what? And they stare at you and you're like, I promise I heard this man on the radio tell me about it.
Who even cares about your stupid Pop-Tarts? Get out, kid.
But if instead you're going to McDonald's, you're like, you know what? I don't care.
I guess I'll get nuggets.
Don't even think about it. And that's when there's going to be a ton of them there. Don't get worked up.
Nikki is speaking the truth to you right now. Did you guys hear what she said? The key to getting what you want is not caring.
Now, that sounds bad if you just tuned in, but in context with the sauce, it's fine.
Nikki, I feel like that's a big life lesson you just dropped on people.
It is.
I really do.
Otherwise, you just get sad because, you really wanted it and it's not there.
Or you encounter that person that, as Nikki said, they're like, we don't got we don't even have McNuggets here. What's a McNugget?
What are you talking about?
Never even heard of that.
Oh, it hurts so much when you meet someone like that and they let you know what they're thinking.
Oh, but maybe you guys haven't been there, but if you start paying attention to food releases and showing up on release dates, you're going to know that pain.
So Szechuan sauce coming February 26th?
Yep.
It would be worth trying to see what it tastes like.
That's next Monday. I'm curious enough that they'll probably get at least a 6-piece out of me if I don't go in for a 10.
We'll see what we get.
We'll see.
Recycling paper is like planting a tree. Recycling the riot is like burning down the rainforest.
We ain't gonna be in no fire, not today.
It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
Some people see the beach as a majestic joining of the land and the sea, a place for contemplation, a place for family picnics. I see it as a litter box.
Some people also see it that way.
Just go outside, move a little sand aside, do what has to happen, and then if you're lucky, maybe push the sand back over it.
Gosh, that is terrible.
What?
It's just, but it is true. I mean, some people...
You don't see it that way?
No, I don't.
I don't understand.
How could someone go on the beach? And you're like, what do you mean go on the beach? I mean, go on the beach.
No, not go to the beach.
No, go on the beach.
We can understand going to the beach.
That sounds really nice, but I can't imagine someone doing this. But it's a problem, not just in, cities and maybe your local town, but...
Oh, man, don't get me started on... I should have sent you the article. There was a study, the San Francisco thing.
Oh, my gosh.
It was insane.
That's the only place I have seen someone go 1 and 2 on 2 different occasions.
Yeah, just in the street.
Just right there on the sidewalk. And you're just like, wait, I'm just walking here. What are you doing? But some people have no problem with that, and that is including in Maine, the Old Orchard Beach town. The council has authorized that they needed to do something because people were using the 7-mile stretch of beach as, like you were saying, kitty litter, as the bathroom.
It's human litter. That's what they like to do. Just go out there and scratch and sniff. Hopefully the It smells good.
They were saying at this stretch of beach, they consider to be world-renowned.
It's
very
people
beautiful.
come from all over, and it's a major source of their income because they've got all of that kind of beachfront stuff. They've got a boardwalk. They've got all these things. So you're out with your friends on the boardwalk eating cotton candy, and there's, hi.
Well, there's not a lot of public restrooms. They were closer to the downtown area, and there's an amusement park, an Amtrak train station, but not at other points more accessible during the 7-mile beach that they have. So the problem was people would just use the beach as the bathroom because there would not be anywhere else to go. So now they're going to spend up to $72,000 on a restroom trailer.
$72,000?
I think that's the cost of the trailer and maybe keep maintaining
the
it.
upkeep?
It must be, don't you think?
I hope so.
Because tourists and visitors were complaining so much because of people going to the bathroom on the beach.
Well, the tourists are some of the ones that are
doing it too,
making use of nature's facilities. What was provided to them by the earth for the bathroom.
So they're going to install it before the end of June. So hopefully that takes care of some of the problems that they've been having.
They said that the town has received quotes from 4 different vendors for this kind of bathroom, ranging from $44,000 to $71,000.
Okay, so that means they went with the highest priced quote that they got.
That sounds like the government.
It does,
they said
doesn't
it will take 10 weeks till they can get the trailer, and they're hoping to have it in place by the end of June. But in the meantime, the beaches are always open.
They're there for you.
No problem. So just go right ahead, and we'll see you later.
You're hearing it for the first time, and it sounds terrible.
It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Things are changing, Nikki. Things in the world. Things are shifting. It wasn't long ago that blank was the number 1 pizza in the world.
Now
it's blank. I want you to fill in the blanks, Nikki. Who do you think is the new number 1 pizza chain in the world?
Okay, well, was it Pizza Hut just by size?
Yes. Well, okay, we are dealing with size here. I'm not talking about,
quality,
flavor.
number 1.
Pizza Hut would not be the best pizza in the world.
No, but you're talking about number of locations. I'm going to say Domino's.
You are correct.
Yeah, where's my bell at? Don't I get a ding, 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 ding? Well, that's not what I wanted. I wanted the bell ringing. I'll take it. It's fine.
I don't have the bell.
It's okay. I guessed it correctly. Yay.
You did, actually. Pizza Hut was the number 1 largest chain in the world. And then as of Tuesday, they are no longer number 1. Actually, you know what? I was saying based on locations. It's not locations, it's money.
Domino's has had a big uptick on it. There was an article on how even Pizza Hut, though it's now the second one, is still people are always buying pizza.
People are eating pizza. I'd love to have some pizza right now. $12.2 billion in global sales from Domino's, which is beating out the $12.03 billion from Pizza Hut. So $12.2 billion. Just combining those two, the world spent almost $25 billion on pizza last year.
From just those two.
That's those two. Think of every other pizza place. What does that mean? 25 billion, so are we at 30, 35, 40 billion? How much did Papa John's make last year? Come on.
I don't know.
Wow.
A lot of money.
We eat pizza, guys.
If you look in every city, and I always say if you go to a small city, there might be no other restaurant, but what are you going to get? You're going to get some sort of pizza place. It's common.
I love pizza. Let's eat it now. I had pizza last night. I'll have it today.
It'll be good.
Had a barbecue pizza last night. I have a tomato-based pizza today. Great. Perfect.
I remember with the reason I picked Domino's as what would now be the biggest one is you remember when, Papa John's had some bad press because the guy who always did the commercials, the founder of
Papa.
Yeah, he was speaking up saying, because they're a big promoter and sponsor of the NFL, and then he talked about how the whole kneeling thing was hurting their pizza sales because people weren't watching football. They weren't then eating pizza. And then in response to Papa John saying that, Pizza Hut and Domino's both said, what are you talking about? Business is booming. It must just be you.
No,
So
that's a smack in the face.
It must have been Domino's.
If you got a lot of money wrapped up in a brand and that brand is not doing as well, it makes sense that it would affect your brand. And you know what? I'll just say this right now, Pizza Hut and Domino's. You guys could learn a thing or two by giving us a free garlic dipping sauce with our pizza.
Do they charge? Domino's does?
Absolutely, they
that's
do.
A shame.
It's 25 or 50 cents. I can't remember how much, but the Papa just throws one in there.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, that's what a good father does.
It's a good
He's like,
thing.
you know what, son? Here's some dipping sauce for you. Domino's is like, we ain't related. You got to pay me. I get it.
That's like the chicken place near us where they charge for the
extra sauce.
Ugh, it's like, this is not where you're making your money, okay? That's where you get customers.
Well, I'll tell you what, they're not losing their money either.
They're charging for it.
Shoot, we should eat that. Let's eat everything. I'm starving.
You really are hungry.
I really am. I'm hungry and tired. You guys like to hear about that, right? How hungry and tired I am? Congratulations, Domino's.
You're number one now.
Number one in pizza.
Yay.
Over $12 billion in pizza sold last year.
The last time I had Domino's, it was super burnt. So
the last time I had it was last night.
Hey.
It was good. They did great. Good job, Domino's.
Well, now they really know they're number one.
I got a medium 2-topping for $5.99.
Oh.
You have to buy 2 of them
to
get $5.99.
That's super cheap.
Yeah, well, it's not expensive, which means they're selling a lot of pizza.
The Riot believes in truth, justice, the American way, and high-speed internet. No, faster. Radio U.
Yes, it's the Riot.
It's the train, Nikki. It's coming through.
Where are we going with it, or what's on the train?
It's the rumor train.
Oh, okay, gather round.
You want to be careful which car you get into because you never know where you're going to end up.
I didn't know we had a rumor train. What's being rumored?
Well, rumors are that the guys that made Stranger Things, the Duffer Brothers.
Yeah.
That they're leaving.
I was going to say I saw something trending, but I didn't catch what it was.
That they're leaving after season 3.
Uh-oh.
But then it turns out that it was just a rumor.
Netflix is not having that one out there.
They were like, listen, you shut your mouth. You shut it.
If they're going to pay money to keep someone or people there with Netflix, it'd be them.
Mm-hmm. So they're like, no, Duffer Brothers for life. Forever. Netflix is like, look, I got their name tattooed on my shoulder. Look at that. I flex it and it becomes bigger. Those Duffer Brothers.
Has Netflix made the statement that that's not true, or have they, or what?
Mm-hmm. So, the rumor there's like a couple things going around. Like, first off, they weren't going to be very involved with season 3. They were just going to kind of be there, like, whatever. And they were like, no. And then there were rumors like, well, they'll probably be around, but they're not going to do anything after season 3. And Netflix is like, you just shut up right now. Like, the Duffer Brothers are here for life. What did they say they're doing? 5 seasons of Stranger Things? Was that
I don't know. Yeah, it seems like that's about right.
It was like they said 4, and then Netflix was like, yeah, but money. And they were like, okay, 5.
Well, then people, like you said, with the rumor started saying, well, that it might continue on, but they might not be a part of it, which isn't unheard of. If you are a part of something from the beginning, like that's their creation, and money starts pouring in, things start changing, they might not be as into what people want them to start creating. It might be a change for them, so they might not want to stay for all those seasons.
Yeah. The one thing people are pointing out is that the rumor was they would be less involved, and Netflix really just came out and said that they weren't leaving. Mm-hmm. So it's one of those things where you're like, well, you didn't say this, you just said that.
Sure.
So we'll see what it ends up being. My only concern is that I just enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, and you don't want it ending or being ruined.
I would almost, I would rather have them say, guys, it's over.
We're ending it.
We're done. Like, there's no more Stranger Things. Than I would have them give me something that's not as good. Though I will tell you, beating season 2, I feel like will be nearly impossible. And here's why I think that. Because season 1 came out of nowhere. Nobody knew what Stranger Things was. It just showed up one day and you were like, and then all of a sudden everyone loved it and it was so amazing.
But in a heard of turnaround, season 2 was better than 1. And that never happened.
Exactly that.
Like, that was
exactly
crazy.
What you're saying. Because season 2 was highly anticipated. It was at least as good, if not maybe better than the first season. And I don't think it's possible to do that again. It doesn't have to get Godfather 3. It doesn't have to be that.
We'll see.
But, I don't think I think we'll end up with something that we like, but I think the idea of them doing that again seems nearly impossible.
So the Duffers, they're saying, season 3 should be 2019, next year on Netflix. Mm-hmm. But the rumors even go back to last fall before season 2 came out, because Stranger Things was just so popular. They get so many offers from studios that throw at them a lot of money, but they still wanted to continue Stranger Things. So it's like, what money are they being given?
Man. Getting nervous. You know what I'm saying?
It's just a rumor. You know what? Let's take that train and send it right on back out.
All right. Somebody go down there and throw the switch so it changes the track.
We're going back.
It's not coming here.
The worst of the riot is over, but the fun can keep going.
Hey, I saw you checking out my goods.
Check the Riot blog or stalk us on social media.
You want to sample them? A little try before you buy, huh?
Through riot.radiou.com.
And this guy's living a fried chicken nightmare right now.